Welcome back to GameStar Summer Qualifiers Week 3, Round 2. I am Geo Phoenix and I'll be taking you through a lot of these offline or off-stream games. And this is between, was it going to be? Uh, Sweet Dreams and Little Gods. And it's going to be on Cursed Hollow. Uh, with the way this tournament is set up, it is a 5 round per day, and each round has a uh, predetermined map. So we don't have any map drafts or anything like that. So we're just going to be getting right into it. I did see that this is a bit of a redraft. There was a bit of a connection issue for one of the players. So some of these early picks might be going a little bit quick, um, just because they're just going with the same picks as they did before. It's going to be the Zeratul and the Varian ban. The Varian I'm not too sure about, but in their previous game, Little Gods did ban out the Zeratul against Sasu, so something that they are very, very against playing against. So just taking that off the board immediately, really not wanting to let that one up. And the Varian ban, I'm, I'm assuming is some kind of target ban, but that does leave the Ragnaros first up. And Physics did play the Ragnaros in the first round against Sasu and did very well on it. So they are very quick to nab that one up first. And interesting to see where Sweet Dreams go with their first two picks. Cursed Hollow has the opportunity, it gives the opportunity to play some of those um, very map-wide heroes going for. Oh, actually, they're just going to pick up their double warrior immediately. The ETC and the Xayah. Xayah very strong, ETC very strong as well together. It's a match made in heaven and a very beefy front line that's going to take a fair bit for Little Gods to get through. And now we have to wait and see what Sasu go with, and it is going, oh, not Sasu, Little Gods, going with pretty much the same draft as they did in the previous round. Ragnaros first, and then in the second round, taking the Malfurion and the Diablo. So a very similar or very familiar composition, and I mean, if it's open, why not take it? It's a very strong trio of heroes, and it allows a lot of flexibility going into the rest of the draft. And it is, and they are going to be banning away the Tigers, and on the other side, it is going to be the Tassadar banned away. So, bit of an interesting one. Going, looking at the side of Little Gods, it doesn't seem like the Tesla would have slotted in there all that well. Maybe they'll be looking towards uh, a range DPS like the Li Ming or even the Tychus, but it was banned out. There's a Valor also. There's a lot of options with the range damage that they can go with on the side of Little Gods. Whereas on the side of Sweet Dreams, all they have is their warriors set in stone. They have the ETC and the Xayah, and now we just have to wait for their other roles. So the supports are still open. There's a lot of the damage still open. So we could even see maybe Valor or a Li Ming. Well, there it is, the Li Ming taken away immediately. Actually, both of them, the Li Ming and the Valor. They're just going to go all in on both of those. And so that's their damage taken care of. They're taking care of their roles in blocks, taking care of the Warriors first, then the DPS, and they'll be finishing off with the support. And now we have to wait and see what Little Gods do with their last two picks. In the previous game, they had the Li Ming and also the Falstad. Falstad wouldn't be a bad option to go on this map. It does bring in that global presence, and the Mighty Gus can be very handy when it comes to a lot of those boss contests. And we'll have to, wouldn't be a bad option to go with at all. But with their Li Ming taken away from them thanks to the Sweet Dreams pick, we'll have to wait and see what they end up rounding it off with. Maybe even the Gul'dan. It's an option I posed earlier in the previous game, but they opted to go for the Li Ming. It is going to be the Falstad, so the one to keep on going with that is it is going to be the Jaina, so still wanting a mage, not going for any kind of auto-attacking, any kind of auto-attack based hero. So, and it does round out the composition quite well. They have a decent amount of range damage, frontline damage, even just frontline tanking. The Ragnaros, although he is an assassin, he can be quite durable with the amount of healing he does get from his Sulfurious Smash. Well, not from the Sulfurious Smash, just from his regular Q, he can get a decent amount of healing from that. And it's actually going to be the Brightwing to finish off the Sweet Dreams composition. A good option. It does bring the counter global presence and can really set up some good plays for their team. Does pair well with the rest of it. With the rest of that Sweet Dreams composition, so very well rounded on the side of Sweet Dreams and quite damage heavy on the side of Little Gods. So we'll have to wait and see how they both play these. So this is going to be round 2 of week 3 of the GameStar Summer Qualifiers, and we are getting into game. There we go. Pretty sure I got that right. And here we go. On the blue side, we have Sweet Dreams. Let me go, is it that one? Yep, there we go. We have Sweet Dreams, we have Katori on the Valor, Vikarak on the Zarya, Penta on ETC, Fesh on Brightwing, and Lahal on Li Ming. And on the red side, we have Little Gods. We have Moops on the Malfurion, Haki on Jaina, Godzilla on Falstad, Physics on Ragnaros, and Demise on Diablo. Alright, so we are getting into the level 1. Not sure if there'll be too much happening. We'll probably just have one team try and get aggressive and the early level 1 push, but it looks like Sweet Dreams are going for the minion blocking to allow them to be in a better position to pick up their wave, and a very concerted effort to keep the minions as delayed as possible. Body blocking is a thing in this game, and they're doing it quite well, making it. But it looks like the members of Little Gods are trying to get a bit of a sneaky pick off going for level 1, but doesn't look like they're going to be able to get too much done with that 4 stack. Godzilla is going to be picking up this wave in the middle with the 3 members going towards the bottom side and the Ragnaros up to the top. So spreading out really early, trying to get the experience lead, and looks like they'll be able to do quite well at that. But it's not too much of a lead early on. Not much to write home about. Alright, and it looks like they are going to try, likewise, they are going to get the very aggressive play onto the EGC, who does get locked down and takes a lot of damage. It looks like they're going to be able to keep on going. Godzilla from the top does manage to get the final damage and takes down the EGC for first blood, and that was a very sneaky gank coming in from Little Gods, and a nice pick-off to start off the game. But meanwhile, on the top side, Sweet Dreams are getting very aggressive and pushing down these towers. Takes down the first one, the Zarya, able to soak a lot of the damage and turn it back onto the tower. But it looks like they've gone a little bit too far forward. They do lock down the Zarya, and it looks like they will be able to take it down, and that will be a return kill. And they did lose the tower, so that's a bit of a trade, but it looks like Little Gods will be okay with it. Still maintaining that slight experience lead, whereas on the bottom side, we are just going to be a little bit of push back and forth. Not much happening here, but meanwhile in the middle lane there isn't anyone on the side of Little Gods soaking, so it looks like Sweet Dreams will be able to get a little bit of headway in the terms of experience, but that shouldn't be for too much longer. It looks like Physics is going to be going for that Q stacking build, going with the Sulfurous Hungers. We'll be able to stack that up quite easily, and we'll be able to do a fair bit of damage as we get later into this game. It looked like Hanky was going to go for this mercenary camp, but with the spawn of the tribute on the top side of the map, didn't have the time to actually go for it. It looks like we'll just be moving towards it. Lahal was getting cut off by Godzilla in the move to the top side, so it looks like they are going to try and have Godzilla come in with the Falstad to make it to create a numbers disadvantage, but he's going very aggressive. He's going very far forward, but was not able to get taken out. The Molten Core is being used to try and force away the members of Sweet Dreams. It's only working for so long as Godzilla is going forward to try and body block, but Vikarak on the Zarya able to drop these grenades, really delay this a hell of a lot, and it's given them enough time that Lahal on this Li Ming is able to meet up with the rest of the team. It looks like they're going very far forward onto Katori in the meantime. Doesn't actually get that boomerang to hit. It looks like they're trying to go in onto the Malfurion, who gets caught out by the power slide, and they do take out the Malfurion, and this is going to make it a little bit harder to take this shrine, but it looks like the ETC going a little bit too far forward with that power slide. gets caught out in return, so it's going to be a 1-for-1, but it does look like with the support advantage that Sweet Dreams will be able to keep on going forward and get this first shrine. So even though it was a 1-for-1, having the support down did make a difference. Looks like they're trying to get even more out of this play as Physics is a little bit too far forward, trying to take a lot of the wave, but is taking a lot of damage from these grenades from the Zaya with a lot of the energy, boosting that damage a hell of a lot, but does manage to get out. But it's still a bit of a close situation. But even though they did lose that shrine, they are getting experience again all over the map, and they still have a bit of an experience lead, but that I'm not sure if that is going to last too long with this very strong push. Oh, looks like they're trying to go aggressive onto Fesh. He does get, the Hacky does get polymorph, but it looks like they're trying to get even more done. The slam down onto Fesh, but with all the shields and all of the protection, they are going to be able to keep alive, but Hacky is dropped very low. Looks like they're just going to go in onto Gatori, who takes a lot of damage and will get moonblasted to death, and that's going to be a kill going over to Little Gods, and they're going to get aggressive onto the Zaya with the 3 members that they have left, but with Penta coming up to help out, they will manage to get out of there, but that is a bit of an unfortunate kill to drop in a very aggressive play that Sweet Dreams wanted to make, and it looks like with this shrine coming here, they are going to start moving towards this side of the map. Lahal is going to start channeling it. We'll have to wait and see. Fesh does come in. It looks like they are just going to let this one be. They're not in position. Well, Little Gods are not in a position to try and contest it, but it looks like they're trying to get a bit of a pick off in rotation. It looks like they're trying to get onto Fesh, but he does manage to get out of there in time, and it looks like nothing's going to happen from that. So they do just spread out again, trying to soak the rest of the map. And even though the shrines are going in favor of Sweet Dreams, as I mentioned, they are still Little Gods are still able to get a lot of the experience and still stay even slightly ahead in the experience gain. But with the 3 members of the Sweet Dreams continually pushing in the top side, they are just going to be able to bridge that gap quite easily, unless the members of Sweet Dreams, not Sweet Dreams, of Little Gods to come up, and it looks like that's what they're going to do. Physics does have to use the Molten Core to keep them away and keep that keep alive, and that's just going to force the members of Sweet Dreams away, and it should give Little Gods the position to take this tribute. They're first at the map, and then it doesn't look like Sweet Dreams are going to make any play towards it. They are just going to go back, pick up some of the mercenary camps, and try and apply some pressure on the lanes, but realizing that Sweet Dreams have gone back to go for some of those mercenary camps. This is just Little Gods are making their very bold play and going towards this boss, and it looks like the members of Sweet Dreams aren't going to make any play towards it, but they are going to just go towards the boss for themselves. So it looks like it's just going to be a bit of a boss trade, and it's going to even out, but this with the boss in the top for Little Gods, this is going to relieve a lot of the pressure that was going on in that lane, but it is, with this boss on the bottom side, it is going to push a fair bit and get a decent amount of experience for Sweet Dreams. So they will be able to at least, more than likely actually get this keep, because there's not really much of a defense being posed from Little Gods. Godzilla is going back to try and come down to help out with the defense. It looks like Penta is trying to cut off any kind of rotation. Physics is here to try and push them back, but as a one-man defense crew, it's not able to get too much done. Demise is still going forward. Both teams are level 10. They both have their heroics. Demise going in. The Apocalypse does get used, but doesn't actually get too much done. The Mighty Gust is here. The Mosh Pit doesn't actually get too much done because of the cleanse. Demise is going down low, but the Valley is taken down immediately. The Diablo falls as well, but he has his soul, so he's going to be coming back up. Files are taken down, and here comes the resets. Lahal doesn't have all that much energy or mana, but the Penta is able to lock down yet another member, so that's going to be... overall, it was a 3-for-1, but with the 2 down now, it was still a very successful fight for Sweet Dreams. But in the meantime, this boss did actually manage to get a fair bit of work done for Little Gods in pushing on the top side of the map. But even though with the man disadvantage, this is giving enough space over to Sweet Dreams to capture this last tribute, and that is going to be the curse. And now we have to wait and see what Little Gods do to try and counteract this. It looks like they're trying to make a play towards the mid lane. Vigorak is getting dropped quite low. The expulsion zone is used, and Gatori comes in to try and cover him. Does manage to do it, but that was that's a bit of a I wouldn't say it's a waste, but it was nice of them to draw that out of him as thanks to that aggressive play. But this should be this keep going down. There's not really much that the members of Little Gods can do to push back these 4 members of Sweet Dreams, and it looks like this is going to be the top one going down as well. There's not much that physics can do. Does manage to clear out the way for the most part, but is not able to push back the Brightwing too much. This is going to be even more buildings going over to the side of Sweet Dreams, and this is pushing their experience lead just a little bit out of reach so far for Little Gods. That's already level 13 for Sweet Dreams, so they do have those talent advantages. And it looks like it's going to be a bit of a risk fight. Here comes the Apocalypse. They're trying to go in. The Apocalypse does land, and here comes a lot of damage. The combo is good, but from the side, Lahal is doing a lot of work. Managed to take down 3 members. It is after what seemed like a really good combination of ultimates out of the side of Little Gods. Just Lahal on the side was able to do so much work and finish off quite a few of the members of Little Gods, and they were able to keep on pushing. They did. Oh, there goes the Jaina as well. Vittori going very far forward. The Molten Core does get used to try and force them back. A nice swing to do a lot of damage, but it's not going to be able to get too much done. The members of Sweet Dreams are going to keep on pushing. It looks like they're going to be able to take down Physics as well, just waiting for him as he gets out of there. Mighty Gust does get used. It looks like he might be able to get out of there. He does manage to survive with even the most minute of health bars, but it's still going to be that keep going down. It looks like Penta is going to be able to slide over that wall to get to safety, but a nice Mighty Gust to keep Physics alive, but it wasn't enough to keep the buildings alive. So a nice push from that curse from Sweet Dreams, and that's going to really catapult them even further in this game. Only 13 for Little Gods is only just about to be hit. There it is, but they're still a fair bit behind in terms of levels, and just structural damage. That curse really did the number on the amount of buildings that they have. They lost their mid, they lost their pretty much the entirety of their mid structures. They lost their bottom keep, their top keep, and it's going to be hard for them to get back into this. But it looks like they're trying to go back to what they've been trying for pretty much all of this game, trying to get these sneaky bush ganks. But it looks like Penta he's not buying it. He's just going to stick around and wait to see if any members of Little Gods try and make a play towards him. It looks like he's just actually going to walk into it. Demise does start the lockdown, but with that face mount, he is going to be able to knock him away, so he doesn't get the overpower. So a nice play there from Penta. A little bit over-aggressive with his positioning, but does manage to get out of there safely. And I guess Little Gods is going to go back to it, trying to get that sneaky pick off again, but they're not going to do it. They need to take care of these waves, and it looks like Sweet Dreams are just going to keep on pushing in this bottom wave with all the members of Little Gods in the middle of the lane, or middle of the map. Penta is being very wary of these side, or any potential gank from the side, and Vikarak is going to be taking some of the damage from the towers just to boost his energy bar. Do a fair bit of damage on the Zarya. Even as a warrior can do a fair bit. They're just forcing him back even more. They're just waiting for the mini waves to come in. That the boulder didn't really get too much done. Trying to take get aggressive onto the members, but doesn't really get much done. Mine's taking a bit of damage. There's not too much. The Molten Core is going to be used to try and force away the members of Sweet Dreams. A bit of damage going down, but they are going to be able to back away safely. There's really not much that Little Gods can actually get out of that. It's just resetting the map for a little bit, but even then they are going to be giving up that first or another shrine, and they need to start making some more proactive plays. They were trying to get those sneaky bush ganks, and now Sweet Dreams are trying to make one of their own. Oh, the Apocalypse does lock down too, but they're not able to follow up on it. It looks like they're trying to go in. The Mighty Gust does get used. The Ring of Cold is not able to land, and that is just going to be a few ultimates used, and absolutely nothing for it. All that was used was a Disintegration Ray, and they were able to get absolutely nothing for it. There was the Ring of Cold, there was the Mighty Gust, and the Apocalypse weren't able to get much out of it. Looks like they're trying to go in. The Expulsion Zone is going to be used. Demise dropping very low, but he is going to be taken down. The Mosh Pit is good, locks down 2, and they are going to take down another 2 members, and it's just the Falstead and the Jaina who are left. Just a little bit more. Katori going around the wall, doesn't manage to get in the good position, and it looks like Haki will be able to get out of there just fine. Godzilla flies to the top of the map to at least delay the next curse, grabs this next this shrine, but this does mean that the members of Sweet Dreams are just going to keep on pushing on the bottom side of the map and take down this this next fort. And there's really nothing that the members of Little Gods can do about it. Wondering if they want to try and go for a finish here. They do have the members and the health bars to do it, but with the members of Little Gods only just now respawning, it might be a little bit risky. They do have the boss with them. Fight will be able to end this. They do manage to take down the Diablo immediately. The Mighty Guts gets used just to force them away, but not able to get too much done as the Mifurian gets absolutely popped by this Li Ming, who's doing so much work. They are going to get aggressive onto physics. The Ring of Frost is not able to get too much done. Haki is needing to get back into his base, but he's not able to get anything out of it. The boss is going to keep on wailing away on the core, and that is going to be game going over to Sweet Dreams.